Well, we're all learning how to deal with this Zoom or doing it virtually, aren't we?
Yeah, very true. It's going to be around for a while, so and it does have its pluses. I will say that. You
Yeah.
know, I'm a personal, shake hand and talk kind of guy, but when you have to drive half an hour for a meeting and it only lasts 15 minutes, Zoom actually comes in pretty handy.
Yeah. Does, and I think it allows more access for more people. So you just, I've not been on one call yet this last year where there hasn't been a little bit of technical difficulties. That's the only challenge.
You're talking about technical difficulties. Let me return this phone call really quick, and I'll be right back on, and we'll get started.
You bet.
All right, how we doing today? I see our numbers are going up. We're looking pretty good. Happy Wednesday, Florinda. How are you, folks? All right, I'm getting some chats going on over here. All right, before we get started, Nico or Pilar, just so you know, I'm getting some texts saying that the link on the Facebook, the message that was sent out is not launching the program. It's sending folks to somewhere else. So if we can do something on the backside, please do so. Just wanted to make you aware of that. All right, you guys ready to get started? All right, I see thumbs up. All right, folks. Well, as people are logging on, I'm going to go ahead and get started by wishing everybody a good evening. Introducing myself, my name is Juan F. Rodriguez. I have the distinct honor of being the mayor of the city of Tolleson. And first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for participating and logging on for our episode of Tolleson Talks. Tolleson Talks is basically a discussion forum where we talk about things that are going on in the city of Tolleson and provide updates to the community directly. And it's also a forum where we allow folks to ask us questions about our presenters, about things that are coming down the pipe, which we'll talk a little bit about here in the next couple of minutes. So please, this is an interactive dialogue. So I encourage everybody to participate and play along with this Tolleson Talks episode. A couple of announcements. This is on Zoom, and so please, on your device, if you can, make note where your chat option is. The chat option will be critical as we move forward. We have a couple of things that we'll be doing today. One is, as I mentioned, we have two speakers, and later on, I'm going to ask for questions specific to each one of their subject matter topics, and you will be able to submit your questions via the chat. Another thing that we'll be doing later on today is we will be introducing another episode of the Taste of Tolleson. This time we'll be focusing on El Camano Gigante. It's a restaurant located on 8343 West Van Buren. And we have a couple of gift certificates, so we will be raffling those off at the end of this episode. Along with the chat component, you want to make sure that you submit your email address if you haven't already when you logged on, so that everybody who's viewing this episode can register themselves by again putting their email in the chat and making sure that when we do the spinning wheel, their name is included and they have equal opportunity to win a gift certificate to our host this evening, El Camano Gigante. Okay, so a couple of other things. Hopefully there's no connectivity issue. I want to begin by first and foremost introducing our first speaker, who also happens to be my co-host and co-worker, our councilwoman, Luca Guandine. Thank you for being my co-host today. And
thank you.
Absolutely. There's two topics that Councilwoman Guandine will be covering with us today. Number one is a little bit of herself, of course, and that's very important because as elected officials here in the city of Tolleson, we take a lot of pride in serving our residents and in our local businesses, and so we want to make sure that we give her that opportunity to speak from her heart and say, what's been my motivation, what makes me who I am, and why it is so important for me to serve my community. But on a different note, a little bit after that, she'll also be talking about a program that she's actually been tasked with to quarterback on behalf of our community. The program is Substance Abuse Prevention and Education, SAPE. I won't go into too much details because I certainly don't want to steal her thunder. But before we go down and talk about this wonderful program that is in its inception stages, let's talk a little bit about who Council Member Luca Guandine is. Councilwoman, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Mayor Rodriguez. It's a pleasure to be here. I've served on the Tolleson City Council for 6 years now. This year, I begin my second elected term. I've also, along with my normal council duties, I currently serve on our Grants Selection Committee for the city. And I'm also representing Tolleson on the Maricopa Association of Governments Domestic Violence Regional Council. So that's an area that's very important, dear to my heart. And I'm just very glad to bring important information to the community about keeping people safe, and so that people can learn more about the latest trends in assisting domestic violence survivors. So I'd like to go ahead and talk a little bit about our drug initiative, our SAFE program. So the mayor and city council of Tolleson are developing a healthy mind and body substance abuse program in order to help safeguard the mental and physical health of Tolleson residents. The Substance Abuse Prevention Education Program, SAPE, SAPE, is based on communication and education. We're currently gathering information from city departments and school districts about the impact of the unhealthy and harmful use of substances to the community. Neighborhood meetings will be held to share experiences, concerns, and needs. Presentations for the community will provide a variety of information about current substance abuse trends, effects, and available prevention programs. The Substance Abuse Intervention and Enforcement part of the program, SAIE, is based on interventions and enforcement. This part of the program will provide information on focused interventions based on collaborative treatments. Friends, family members, and specialists will help individuals who use substances in unhealthy and harmful ways move towards a more fulfilling and happy life. During this part of the program, we'll be reviewing and learning about the enforcement of laws for controlled substances, possession and trafficking or distribution, and the legal consequences of the unlawful use of substances in Tolleson. Our program management support team is preparing for neighborhood Zoom meetings to be held in May, and participation will be vital to the success of this program. For current program information, please go to tolleson.az.gov and click on Residents SAPE. And I want to thank the mayor for having confidence in me to head up this program, this project that we're doing. It's a very important project to me. My first elected term, it was one of my top priorities was to bring some substance abuse education and some rehabilitation. And we were really successful getting started to have a couple of presentations for our administrators and council members. And we also had one at Gonzales Elementary for our 7th and 8th grade students and their parents. And we also were able to bridge the financial gap for students at Tolleson Union High School in need of mental health and substance abuse rehabilitation. So this just is, it's just wonderful to be able to see us developing this program. And I thank the mayor for having us giving us the go-ahead to get this program started. Thank you.
Absolutely. On the contrary, all thanks is to you, really. This is something that you've been very passionate about, and in discussing the selection of the council member that would be leading this charge, it was it was obvious to me. Not only are you passionate about it, but this is something very relevant to our community. It's here and now. And it's one of those issues where we're either going to take a stance and we're going to do something positive about it, or we're going to ignore it, and it can really cripple our community. And so ignoring it is not an option. Some of the key concepts that I took away from your presentation here is, number one, it's in the inception stages. So community input is pivotal to its success. As the councilwoman alluded to, there's going to be a series of community meetings, and I would strongly encourage everybody in our community to get involved. They're going to be on Zoom. The dates and the times are on the screen now. Please take note of that. We will be sending this out information on social media to remind folks, but it is extremely critical that when we're looking at a community-wide issue, we address it with a community-wide emphasis and strategy. So that takes everybody's involvement. And so to me, the takeaways are education, prevention, intervention, and enforcement. I think having a four-pronged approach to how we address drug issues in our community is going to maximize our opportunity to success. So again, thank you, Councilwoman Guandine, for everything that you've done thus far and everything else that you're going to do moving forward. And I look forward to your community meetings and you continuing to work with city staff in developing key programs to really have a positive impact on our city of Tolleson as it pertains to reducing drug dependency and the existence of drugs in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
So everybody out there, just want to let you know, we are going to have an opportunity to have Councilwoman Guandine, myself, and even other staffers answer some questions that you may have about the drug education prevention program. We may not have the answers because, as I mentioned, this is in the inception part, and community participation is key. Matter of fact, there's going to be a circle of committees that are going to be formed, and so if you're interested in participating at a higher level, again, please include your information in the chat. We definitely want to make sure that we have all the key players in the community, and that includes our residents involved in. Guandine, thank you very much. I'm going to switch roles now. Okay. I'm to our second speaker of the evening, and this is a very exciting time for our community. There's been moments and times where we've had major growth or major renovation in our community that has really transcended multi generations and even different councils. I've been very fortunate to be on council now for 15 years, and when this concept began, there was already a rendering, and it developed over the years, and now it has come to fruition. And that is actually the backdrop of where Council Member Guandine is sitting at now, which is our downtown corridor. So the entire downtown streetscape, landscaping, the kiosks, the splash pad, that was part of a very long process that had taken over a decade to really come to fruition. And then when we started the construction, we now see the final product, which is a beautiful thing. And so now we're entering a new chapter of growth. And that new chapter is going to be something that we're all going to be very proud of. It's going to be located on the corner of 91st Avenue and Van Buren. So it's going to be downtown Tolleson. It's going to be our new municipal complex. And the municipal complex is going to have just a variety of different offerings. It's going to have our city hall where you can go get permits and you can go and pay your water bills and so on and so forth. It's going to have a new home for our senior citizens in town, and they can have their meals there. They can have their activities and events. It's going to have a new library, a state of the art, very tech savvy library for everybody to enjoy, from our youngest to our eldest. And of course, it's going to have a new city council chambers. So when we meet and discuss public policy, we have a professional location where people can come and participate in that public process. And then of course, the campus, beautiful landscaping, enhanced trees, art features. But if I keep talking, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I think I'm going to take, all the information that Mr. Tran is here to share with us. So with no further interruptions, I really want to introduce John Tran. John Tran is with the Smith Group, and the Smith Group is really the leading charge of the design behind this new complex. John, take it away. You got the floor.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Mayor Rodriguez, Councilmember Guandine, pleasure to be with you folks tonight, and with pleasure to be here to give you folks out there an update on the design and where we are in the process of bringing to you the new municipal complex that we're so excited to have been a part of for the last year and a half here. If you mind, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to present a presentation for everyone. Take 1 second, please. Everyone see the presentation? Thumbs up?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you. To give everyone an update on our schedule and where we are in the process. We are right in the middle of what is known as construction documents, which is where we are doing technical drawings. We're about to submit a 60% package on that, which allows us to begin to really think about how to construct our project. Once we get through that phase, we're gonna develop those drawings towards 100% with the idea that we're gonna have groundbreaking within a month and a half or so here, which is very exciting. And then as well, we're gonna have about a 14-month construction process, which means that we're gonna be open by the fall of 2022, which is very exciting for us. But that's the schedule of the update. I want to give everyone a glimpse, and then this is ongoing. And so, as the mayor alluded to, and sort of very clearly of the center administrative municipal activities, as well as the senior center. I'm going to walk you around there. And again, this is 91st and Van Buren of that intersection. So 91st is here, and Van Buren is to the hard corner. We've got several site entries into the site, vehicular and Buren. There's 2 entries off of the north side. You can sort of see here, this is the one entry. The majority of the parking, which is on the south side here, and there's an entry to that parking a lot from 91st Avenue. As well, there's an
Like we lost him. Mayor, you're on mute.
Yeah, it appears we've had some communication issues. We may have lost John. Hopefully he can log on pretty soon here. But in the interim, this is a good time to remind everybody, if you haven't logged on yet on Snap and included your chat, and included your email address, please do so now, so you're included in the raffle. And Nico, I'm not sure when he's going to be able to join us. Would you prefer to go straight to the Taste of Tolleson and go ahead and show the video of El Camano Gigante?
Yes, let's move forward.
Yeah, let's review that now. Okay, Nico, we can't hear the volume.
Welcome to Tolleson friends and family. I am Juan Rodriguez, your City of Tolleson Mayor. Today, I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of A Taste of Tolleson. We're going to focus on highlighting El Camano Gigante, a restaurant located here in downtown Tolleson, located on 8343 West Van Buren Street. Let's go inside and meet some of the friendly staff. Come on, Mil. All right, everyone. Well, we've come inside, and I want to introduce you to a very special friend, Karen Wilson is the general manager of El Camano Gigante. Karen, thank you for having us today.
No, it's all my honor and my privilege to have you guys here.
Awesome. Well, you have a great establishment here in Tolleson, and we want to thank you for opening up here. Tell us a little bit about your spot here. It looks like you got a really nice theme, and a lot of love has been put into the building.
Actually, it really has. The whole family has put some sort of part into it. When we first started, we were a little bit low on funds, so we all did our part in doing what we could into this restaurant, and this is the outcome.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It really is. What kind of food? I mean, obviously it's seafood, but there's different regions of Mexico and different types of seafood that is presented. What is the biggest influence for the type of food that you serve here?
Well, funny you should say that. My family comes from Chihuahua, so we don't exactly have the lakes. We don't have really anywhere to have mariscos. So they took a lot of the influence from Puerto Peñasco.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's the state of Sonora, Puerto Peñasco, as many of us know it as Rocky Point. Yeah, I've been there a time or two. Had some good times. All right, Miss Wilson, as I look through your menu, I see you have a wide variety of menu options, a lot of beautiful seafood. Some of it's made as a cocktail style, some of it's over the grill.
Yes.
So it's a lot of really good variety. But tell me, what are some of the key plates that you would recommend people have when they come over here to Camano Gigante?
We have a lot, like you said, we have a very vast menu. Some of the most popular plates are our cucarachas, empanadas. So a lot of the big things are actually appetizers. But if they want something really, really filling, then they're going to want to have the Camarón Gigante Tostada.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about El Camarón Gigante Tostada.
It's everything that we have in the back. Any seafood you can pretty much think about, it's in the Camarón Tostada. And we add a little bit of flair, a difference from other restaurants because they all have their own, type of tostada. But we like to think that ours is the best because of the sauces and the super fresh ingredients that we have. And of course, we bring everything almost daily, just because our kitchen is small, so everything is always fresh.
Fresh and ready to go. Awesome, awesome. Well, I've been to a number of mariscos places throughout the valley. And, some of them have different atmospheres.
Correct.
What would you say that you really honor yourself in presenting to your customers when they walk in your door?
Well, it's funny. Just like you said, a lot of the mariscos places have the infamous atmosphere of mostly being, a party or a drinking place, and that's what's different here. We like to cater more towards the family, have a great atmosphere where the whole family can sit here from, the small little ones to the seniors, and they can just, actually sit down and be able to hear each other and enjoy the meal.
That's great to hear. As you know, Tolleson, we are small, but we're in the middle of it all. And we have a lot of families, and it's good to know that they're welcomed from the moment that they're in the cradle all the way to when they're senior citizens, and they can come to El Camarón Gigante and have a really nice experience.
That's right.
So with that, Karen, is it okay if we bring out some plates and give it a shot?
Oh, no, of course.
All right. We'll be right back with some of the key plates.
So what you're looking at here is los cucarachas. This is one of our staple appetizers. It is a large shrimp butterfly in the middle. The salsa is made of chile de árbol. Next we have the chicharrón espargo. It is given with a side of a lime-infused salsa. A little spicy, but not too much. Next we have our very popular dish as well is the empanadas. They are a camarón cream-filled pastry. And then we have our biggest seller, el camarón tostada, which has that everything that we have in the back of our kitchen.
Well, Karen, thank you very much for a tour of all the food that you guys have here. As you guys can see, they have camarón, they got scallops, empanadas, they have pulpo, they have a little bit of everything. So the menu is wide, and there's a lot of options for everybody. And for those of you that may not like mariscos very much, they also have a Mexican menu. So they have carne asada and other options as well. So that's very important to know. So you can bring your entire family and everybody will be happy. So Karen, I want to thank you first of all. Our viewers don't know this, but Karen and her husband, Justin, were both U.S. Marines. And so we want to thank you for your service to our country.
Oh, thank you.
It's It's very important that we acknowledge that. So thank you for all your service and sacrifice.
No better privilege than serving this beautiful country of ours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Second of all, I formally want to thank you for hosting us. You know, I've had a good time here. We come down to Camano Gigante at least once a month as a family, and to have the general manager be our host and show us all the great things that they have to offer. It's a privilege to say the least. So
Our
thank you
privilege
very much
all
for having
ours.
us.
Thank you for having us and for coming on down and, you know, being able to showcase what we actually have to offer to not just Tolleson, but everybody else here in the Valley.
Lastly, we want to thank all of the viewers at home for tuning in today for this episode of Taste of Tolleson. As we get ready to dig in, I want to invite all Tolleson residents in the greater Southwest Valley to come in and try the Camano Gigante. Take advantage of the great cuisine and their really, really good customer service.
Thank you.
Let's dig in.
Awesome.
Salud. I'm going to try me an empanada.
All right. So there you go. Camano Gigante. I want to thank them for hosting us. All their staff were really, really good people. I mean, they went out of their way to make us feel homey and prepare some really good meals and our plates. And let's just say when we were done, everybody had a smile on their face. And so thank you, Camano Gigante. Just a kind reminder, you know, we're in the middle of as we all know, a worldwide pandemic. We're coming out of it. You know, things are looking up, but we're still in the thick of some issues that we have to work out, and everybody's been impacted. And of course, our local businesses, our local eateries, also have been impacted by numbers, by the amount of visitors, by the amount of plates ordered. And so the reason that we really are proactive when it comes to the Taste of Tolleson is because we want to highlight some of these restaurants, because behind every mom and pop shop, there's a family. And any opportunities that we have to go out and enjoy a plate, whether it's at a Camano Gigante or any of our other Tolleson restaurants, I want to do everything to encourage those folks, all of you, to just come out and help them out. We definitely want them to get past this pandemic along with everybody else. And it's going to take all of us as a community to support each other. So come on and enjoy some shrimp. All right, John, I see you're back with us. How you doing, sir? Oh,
Yes, sir. Can you guys
you're cutting in and out, but you
hear me okay?
Yeah, you just cut.
I apologize for. Yeah, I apologize for the connection. Gave us a good chance to see that restaurant. It looks amazing and delicious, and so it's dinner time. So maybe that'll prime everybody up for that. I'm going to try to share my screen again. I apologize. So let's do this again. Good.
I see black backdrop. The screen has not come up yet.
We okay?
Oh, there we go. There it is.
Can everyone? Okay. Thumbs up. Okay. Apologize once again for the bad connection. If at any point I drop, I'll click back on. So let me go through this very quickly, so we don't have them miss again. Mary described the program very well.
Hello, Mayor. John.
On
John,
91st
can you hear us?
And Van Buren. Yes.
Mayor, I mean, we would defer
Yes.
to you about the connections a
Yes.
little bit if you'd like. I could try
Sure.
to assist John as best as I could through kind of the renderings. I know that I've had the opportunity to, see this a few times, so I could just kind of go over a little bit of what's on the screen. If John can bear with us and just, stay with us to be able to share the presentation.
John, are you good with that, John?
Oh, and I think Chris Ledwith is also here, so
Yeah, maybe we have a better connection.
yeah, thank you everyone that's on with us tonight. We really appreciate you bearing with us with the internet connections. We'll definitely move Chris on to the panelists. And John, Chris is also on with us tonight, so hopefully maybe we can get a little bit of a better internet connection. So
Okay, I
Chris,
see
we have,
Chris on here now.
yeah.
So great. Can everybody see me and hear me okay?
Hey, Chris.
So apologize for the background. This is the corner of my bedroom, but that's where my work is being done right now. Anything for Tolleson. So Mayor Rodriguez and council members, thank you for having me. I will do my best to finish off what John has already started. Let me see if I can share with you presentation. Can everybody see that?
Yes, we're good to go, Chris.
Great. So I'll just skip up to the site plan and the floor plan that John had kind of got about halfway through. Mayor mentioned 4 main components of the city complex. The library is going to take that northwest corner for easy access for all of Tolleson. Senior system is going to be towards the east. They have some secondary drop off and pickup requirements. We wanted to make sure that was easy for them. And then we have the council chambers down south. That's front and center for easy access off the parking lot. And then what was also mentioned was we do have offices above the library that will be for administration and staff, city manager, and those items. And then along with it, you can obviously see there's been a great amount of detail in design that's with the incorporation of the site and a massive courtyard that can be flowed into and out of the council chambers as well as the senior center. And so as much as the indoor space is important, we also look to the outdoor space as just as important. Off to the west, you'll also see that we greatly enhanced kind of that front door approach to the building, not only from the north, but also from the west, because it definitely needs to be a welcoming and inviting place to be. Okay, we'll keep going.
Yes, please.
So I did already go through the floor plans. I'll just touch upon a few more key items. We do have a 2-story high main entry lobby that all 4 components feed off of. So again, this goes back to the welcoming, inviting, and easily accessible city complex. And then as you'll see, we had a little bit of fun with the 2-story element that is the library in the first floor and the city offices above, that we do have kind of a lookout space towards the north. That way we're able to get 2-story glass to fill the entire 2 stories with great natural light and great views out. You'll also see in the plan that we tried to soften a lot of the edges. We did want this building to be inviting, and part of that is to do what we can to break away from the box mentality. And so as you can see, this is anything but a box. This is a very unique and organic shape, and that does promote more of an easing and a welcoming experience for all users. And then we'll get into the renderings. These are a few views of the new building. This one is off of Van Buren, looking south towards the peak. Again, we see that kind of soft, gentle geometry of the building, being welcome, inviting, building up towards the corner of Van Buren and 91st, kind of reaching out to the community to bring them in. We also are looking to incorporate a lot of public art throughout the facility. What you see in front of you is just a place saver, but it's also a hopeful place saver of something unique that's right at the front door of the new complex. Here's another fun view. It's a little more aerial and bird's eye view, but this is looking down on the building, looking at that sweeping geometry that's coming through the site, the unique sweeping landscaping that's coming through in and around the site, and then again with the mountains in the background. This view is looking with almost above Van Buren, looking down 91st to the right. Here's the great courtyard I talked about before. We have the council chambers to the left, senior center above it. And again, this courtyard, we're hoping that it can be used for all kinds of community events. It can be scaled down for smaller events, but we want to aim high and hope that this pandemic gets over with shortly so we can all gather once again in the great courtyard. We did provide some landscaping buffer around the courtyard, knowing that the parking lot is there, because we wanted that place to be a nice, safe place for the younger side of the community. Keep going. And here's another little fun view that our designers like to showcase. This is the corner shot from Van Buren and 91st, looking back at the 2-story space with the library in the first floor. We have an outcropping at the staff area. And again, a lot of glass to the north, but it's free natural light. So we want to take advantage of that. And then you can see off to the right, another inclusion of a potential area for public art. Another view, looking south to the north elevation. This is really the main entry from Van Buren from the north. There you can prominently see the potential for art right as you come in. A lot of glass to the library, senior center to the left, and that, again, that nice sweeping roof heading off to the corner. Here's the first glimpse into the main entry lobby that is 2 stories high, that runs the full length of the facility. You can kind of see the words library off to the right, and that will be their main point of entry. Senior center is to the left. The vertical element in front of you is a set of stairs as well as an elevator to get everyone up to the staff offices. And then beyond, you can see a glimpse of the outside that goes out to the massive courtyard. And then further down the way is the entry to the council chambers. Here's an interior shot of the library in that 2-story space that I've talked about before. The natural light's coming in from the right, the 2-story balconies off to the left. We did have a little fun with this space, knowing our user group, with the colors, the names, the lettering, the signage, and even just the layout of the space. Another view of the same space, opposite side. Again, seeing that natural light kind of sift in through the slats on the north, really bringing in that natural daylight deep into the space. And above and beyond just being a library, this is going to be a new tech center, if you will. We are going to infuse it with a lot of new technology, because this is going to be so much more to the community than just your ordinary library. This is going to be one of the big highlights of the project. And we just want to showcase many different ways to gather, many different ways to study, many different ways to just get to know each other. This space is a pretty large multi-purpose space that's easily dividable. That's part of the new senior center. As many of you know, there is a multi-purpose room right now that the senior center uses. This is larger by a great amount, and it's also tied in with a new commercial kitchen beyond that wood wall to the far side of things. And as you can see, this senior center multi-purpose area also opens up very easily to that outdoor courtyard. Oh, and that's it.
All right, Chris. Well, I got to say the word impressive is an understatement. It's going to be a building that's going to really pop out in the middle of our downtown core, and it's going to be something that we're all going to be very proud of. And you know, one of the things that is core. Well, before I start asking questions, I want to invite everybody that is on to please use the chat option to send in questions so that we can go ahead and ask both about the substance abuse prevention and education program, and also about the new city complex. And so as you guys continue to bring those questions in, I do want to have one question that I think is critically important. And I would say not only would Councilmember Guandine, but the rest of the council agree with me, is that community input is very important. I'm thinking of this city complex as a house of the people. It is going to be where business is done with our seniors, our children, the library. People are going to pay for essential services here in their community. And I think they should have a very important opportunity to have provided some input in the design of this building. So Chris, I'd like to ask you, what steps were taken to ensure that we had a really good opportunity, a robust program for community input when it came to the design of the building? So
thank you, Mayor Rodriguez, for such a great question. As much as you got to see the end product in front of you, before we put a line on the piece of paper, we reach out to the community to get their input. because we don't want to have any preconceived notions going into this. This is Tolleson's new home, and it needs to be designed and built by Tolleson. We're just the hands doing the work. And so we did reach out to multiple different community groups to get their input on their new home. We reached out to a youth group, we reached out to a seniors group, we reached out to a retired military group. So we did a broad brush through the community that is Tolleson to get their input, first and foremost, right up front, to make sure that that input was going to shape what you just saw in front of you.
That's excellent. That's huge. We want to make sure, and by the way, I also seen you guys at some of our community events. The Smith Group came out and openly started asking questions. I think it was at Whoopie Days or one of our events. And so you have been very proactive when it comes to community input. And that's key, because you're right. If it's going to be the home of the people, then the people have to be the ones that have their thumbprint on the construction of it. And so thank you for going above and beyond and making sure that that voice is heard and it is incorporated into the design of this new facility. By the same token, I noticed that you have some very key elements that talk about art. And, you know, art is huge in our community. Not only is it, you know, a reflection of maybe potentially some of the things that we prioritize as a community, but it's also an expression of vibrancy, of moving parts in our community. It's an expression of artists in our community and a voice for them to really be heard through different elements. So can you tell us a little bit about how art is going to be incorporated into this building and how it can be recycled throughout the years?
Oh, you bet. Thank you, Mayor. And so we did look at strategic locations to place art. We didn't just kind of find a few locations. We found the most important places to put art, because you can tell when just driving through town and being a part of Tolleson that art is a big part of what you do in your daily lives, and it needs to be incorporated into your new home. And so an easy one is we want to have a large piece that was front and center at the main entry right off of Van Buren. So that's what you kind of see in front of you here. We did the same on the opposite side, because this is a two-sided building. We have entries on both sides. One that faces Van Buren, the other faces the council chambers, the parking is the south. And so what you may be able to see a little bit is this curved wall is the south wall to the council chambers. And it's the alternate entry point that goes right into the main lobby. We also saw that as a great potential for public art. And then, of course, right at the corner, so people driving by, whether it's from Van Buren or 91st, could see something. We are looking at the potential of putting artwork that would be removable along this wall as well. So it may not be a permanent piece. It may be removable. It may be changeable. We're still reviewing that with the steering committee, but I think that has a great opportunity because we like to showcase as much art as possible during the lifetime of the building. And then on top of that, that's just the outside. And on the inside, we also try to find some great locations. And when you have a two-story lobby, above the doors is great real estate for more public art. So we took advantage of this massive two-story lobby and the large flat wall above Senior Center as a great canvas for even more public art right when you walk in the facility from either direction. And so on top of the multiple locations on the outside and the multiple types of art we can implement, we also did look at key locations on the inside of the building as well. I will say this, we have not determined the artist, the type of art as of yet. We want that to be organic, and we want it to be somewhat more led with the steering committee that Tolleson has put together.
Excellent. I think that's going to be huge. It's going to make a statement when you drive down through the streets and when you enter the corridors of the building. So I'm very big on the arts. I'm not very artsy myself. I'll be the first to admit. I am really big on appreciating those that have artistic talent and express themselves and using those different avenues. I did receive a question from a number of questions, but one question that really jumps out at me is, will this space be available to the public for private use? And this is something that we need to sit down with staff. I do know that a lot of our spaces are modular, meaning that the tables and the chairs can be moved to create different kinds of spaces. The area that comes to mind is the senior center. The senior center room, the activity room, can be used in many different facets. I foresee the possibility of using it for baby showers or maybe different community events or gatherings. My quick answer is I hope it is. I'm going to encourage staff and I'm going to encourage my fellow council members to definitely look at that as an option. I mean, it's a great space. And I think if we can take advantage of it by using it for a rental space for some of our community members, we certainly should do so. So that should answer that one. Construction timeline. Yeah, Councilwoman Guandine.
Well, just to add to that, I think it's really important to let the community know that it's been uppermost in the council's mind to make sure that this building is multi-purpose. We want all our spaces to be used for all different kinds of purposes. After all, it's not the Taj Mahal, it's the building for all.
There you go. It's important. It is. It's going to be a building for all. So construction timeline, I heard you say 18 months.
So the construction timeline is probably closer to about 14 months. We plan to have a grand opening fall of next year. We're about to send in permit sets that need to be reviewed, and we'll be breaking ground in a few short months.
Yeah, we should be having a number of events. The first one being a groundbreaking event. I think it's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be officially, we're going to have the earth movers out there. We're going to have our council, our planning and zoning commission, and our staff, and of course, people from the Smith Group and our construction company represented. It's going to be a time of celebration. And then from there, we'll start our construction and look forward to the grand opening, which, we cut the ribbon and open for business. So it's a very exciting time in Tolleson. So Councilwoman Guandine, I've been getting a series of questions coming in also. Number one is they want to know if we can share the dates and times. I know they're at 6 p.m. and I remember May 24th, but I don't know if we can bring up that slide again. We may have
Yes,
to have Chris stop
yes,
sharing.
Mayor, we're going to have 2 neighborhood Zoom meetings, and they're actually going to be by neighborhoods. So our first one will be Monday, May the 24th at 6 p.m. And that will include our Tolleson North and South and our Tolleson Meadows neighborhoods. And our second meeting will be Thursday, May the 27th at 6 p.m. And that meeting will include our Tolleson Farms, Villa Rica, and Villa Verde neighborhoods.
Excellent.
And we also, if you go to the tolleson.az.gov/SAPE, you'll have the same information there if you need it for the future. Thank you.
That's great information. And again, as mentioned earlier, this information will be sent out via social media and other avenues. We definitely want as many people to participate as possible. This is a very, very critical conversation that we have here in our community, and everybody's input is extremely important. Councilwoman Guandine, this is a big topic. I mean, it is a big topic to tackle. Tell us a little bit about the strategies to potentially partner with community nonprofits or maybe other community partners like the school districts and so on and so forth to really make this massive effort as successful as we possibly can.
Thank you, Mayor. What we're trying to do is we're trying to gather program partners. So our program partners will be our departments for the city and our city school districts. Now, the school districts are important because our elementaries have counselors, nurses. Our high school also has prevention programs of their own. And so the importance of having these program partners is that we can gather information to try and come up with more concise information, like a combination of what's available now and what it is that we need for the future. And another super important component is the community, the neighborhood participation, our neighborhood partners. So when we have these neighborhood meetings, it's going to be really important to have participation from the neighborhoods because we want to know what are your neighborhood concerns and your needs. And we want to also learn about our neighbors' experiences. There are people that have unhealthy and unsafe use of substances, and it touches a lot of families, a lot of friends, neighbors. So we want to have their experiences to share so that we can really understand how it's affecting our community, the impact that, the impact on our community. So we want it to be a program where everybody participates so that we can make a really good plan for trying to provide rehabilitation and education so that we can do some prevention. So it's really important for the prevention and for the rehabilitation of our neighbors and friends here in Tolleson.
Excellent. That's really good news. It really is. It's going to take all of us working together to make this successful. And it's the life of our community members. It's our youth that are going to be growing up here and having to make very difficult decisions as they get older. Our communities have changed. And so the more positive influence and the more referrals and tools we can put in place to help folks by preventing the beginning of using drugs is a huge benefit. Those that unfortunately have already been introduced, if we can come up with intervention tactics to help them release themselves from addiction, we should put that in place too. And then ultimately, if we have a negative influence in our community and they persist, we should also look at enforcement. And it sounds like this program has elements in all three of those, and I think that's huge. There's 4 key parts, and just really tackling them on different fronts is going to increase our chance of being successful. So with that, I'm going to change gears here. I want to thank Chris. I want to thank Councilwoman Guandine. If any other questions come up, I'll certainly throw them your way. I was told that people after half an hour start to kind of, shut down, and we've exceeded that. So I know some folks have stuck around because they love our faces, but the other reason is because there's some gift certificates that we want to raffle off. And so we certainly want to go in that direction. And so our good staffer here, Nico, is going to help us out with this. And again, if you are selected to win a gift certificate tonight to El Camano Gigante, please in the chat, put in your email address or your phone number, preferably your email address, but for sure one or the other, so that staff can contact you and make arrangements to have you pick up the gift certificates. Now, this is the magic wheel of Tolleson, and everybody who is signed up has sent in their emails or phone numbers is already on here. So if your name is called and you for whatever reason have not submitted your email or your phone number, please do so if you're selected. Okay, we want to make sure that these gift certificates go to our community members and everybody can go and celebrate a nice meal at El Camano Gigante. Nico, take it away. We have our first winner, Ms. Amora. I'm sure she'll find a way to get the gift certificate delivered to her. Okay, Nico, remind me, what do we have here? We have 2 25s and a 50, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the first one was $50, and the next 2 are going to be $25 gift certificates.
Okay, so the next 2 will be $25.
Correct.
And so let's go ahead and by the way, I love the sound effects. I should just say that. But go ahead, Nico. I don't know who you are, but I like your name, and please make sure that you include your email. Nora, Dr. Gutierrez, I'm so sorry, so close. I promise I have no control over this wheel. All right, Nico, the last $25 gift certificate. Let's roll. If I'm not mistaken, this is Sammy Quesada. Congratulations, Sammy. If you need somebody to go with you, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you spend your $25 gift certificate. So that concludes the spinning wheel concept. Congratulations to all the winners. I just got a couple more announcements, and then we'll let everybody go. Number one is all the information that we discussed today, the SAP program, the new City Hall complex, all that information is available on our city webpage. And now it'll also be available on YouTube via this conversation, because the entire thing will be aired. And you're free to go back and look at it and over as much as you want. I do want to thank a couple of folks for sure. My co-host today, Councilmember Luca Guandine, thank you very much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And then also thank you for all your efforts for our substance abuse prevention education program and everything you're going to do for us moving forward.
Absolutely. It's a tremendous honor to serve the Tolleson community.
Absolutely. In addition, I want to thank both Chris and John from the Smith Group. That's our design group for our City Hall. I appreciate your time. We had a little bit of connectivity issues, but you know what? We worked it out. And I think the residents of Tolleson were able to get all the information that they needed. So thank you both for collaborating and joining us today and sharing this critical information on a major building that's going to be impacting positively our city of Tolleson.
Mayor.
You're very welcome. All right, just a couple of reminders. Reminder number one is we continue to offer free COVID testing. Our current site is located over on the north side of Tolleson Veterans Park. So feel free to go over and if you feel the need, the COVID testing is available. And then also keep your eyes open and your ears listening for vaccine opportunities. Here in the city of Tolleson, we've had a number of opportunities already, and we're going to continue to offer opportunities. And so when those vaccines become available, we're pushing that information out to the public via our webpage, but also through social media. So if you haven't got vaccinated yet, please keep your eyes open and your ears open, so that you can get that information and get you signed up and get you to the vaccine process. All right, with that, I just want to thank everybody for joining us on another episode of Tolleson Talks. It's been fun. This is my second, and it's been a learning opportunity. And I want to thank both Corina and Luca for supporting me in this initiative. And as we move forward, we will have new council members coming on and co-hosting as well. And so, with that being said, I just really want to just remind everybody that there's a lot of fun in this world and a lot of things that at times maybe we take for granted. And I just want to remind everybody that we've come a long way with this COVID-19 thing, and there is a new reality, but it could be very misleading. I can tell you that we're not out of the woods. We need to continue to promote positive lifestyles when it comes to the COVID-19 steps that we need to be taking based on the CDC recommendations. We need to continue to social distance when possible. We should wear masks within public places, and we should always be cognizant that we do have some resources available that we need to take advantage of. We need to help people understand the importance of vaccination. If we're gonna reach a point with herd immunization in our community, we need to make sure that enough people get the immunization so that we're able to reach that pedestal. And when we do that, we can continue to move in the direction that we're moving in now, which is to incrementally open up our services, and the different businesses can also flourish and open up as well. So it's a win-win, but it does take everybody's participation to make it a reality. So please, I encourage everybody to do that. Again, social distance, mask up, and more importantly than anything, please take care of one another. That's all we have. We have each other. So with that, thank you all for participating. I wish you well, and good night, Tolleson. Take care.
Good night.